All right, guys, Paul James here. Welcome back to video number 2. So if you didn't catch the first video, you should go back and watch that first because these videos are set up in order to make sure that you get the most out of them. So at the end of the last video that we did, we talked about the cheat code to first page Google rankings. So in that video, we talked about how I had come across what Google Maps is. And if you look at Google Maps, it's this pack of listings that shows up at the top of every local search. So by local search, I mean if you search for a keyword and then after that keyword, put the city that you're searching in. So for example, pizza, Milwaukee, it's going to pop up a 3-pack. And when I had figured out how to get people ranked in that 3-pack, I felt like I had come across the cheat code because I was now competing with only local business owners and getting them into this area here. This shows up at the top of every Google search for a local keyword, which is great. And it's much, much easier to get into. And I also talked about in that last video how when I figured that out, rankings and call volume started going crazy. You can see on the side there the number of calls that are coming into my clients. This is in my tracking software. And when you're getting that kind of results, you can see why clients are willing to pay you fees like this, like $1,500 here, another $1,500, $2,000, $500 fee. And you can see why also when I taught my other students how to do it, like Paul T, for example, he's now doing over $30,000 a month, which is crazy because when he started, he didn't actually even know how to do search engine optimization when he was hired by his first client, who was a mortgage broker. And that's because I always encourage people to take action, imperfect action, and go out there and get a client and use that client to learn what you're doing. Because the worst that happens is if you really can't figure it out, you just give them their money back, right? It's not a big deal. Everyone has to start somewhere. So now that I've covered all of that stuff in the last video, I want to share some tips with you as well so that you can go out there and do the same thing that I've done and that several of my students have done. So if that's cool with you, that's what we're going to cover in today's video so that you can learn how to get people ranked in Google Maps too. Okay, so we're going to boil this down. I'm going to share some tips with you so that you can do this very, very easily. We'll make this very, very simple. It's a strategy I call backlinks without backlinking, and it's one of the strategies that we really, really like to use, that we like to start with, especially because it's just so easy. And you're going to see that when I break the strategy down for you today in this video, just how simple it really is. So what is a backlinks without backlinking strategy? Well, it uses something called local directory sites. And there's tons of local directory sites out there like Yelp. And what you'll notice on these different directory sites is that it's going to have some consistent information across all of them. And that is, it's going to have the business's name, the business's address, and the business's phone number. Now, when you have those 3 components on another website listed, Google considers that kind of like a vote for a local business owner. They consider that kind of like a backlink. So that's why I call it backlinks without backlinking, because that's basically what you're doing. So if you could go out there and you can get your client that you pick up listed on a bunch of different sites, their name, their address, and their phone number, you've essentially created a backlink for that business owner without really creating a backlink, right? So we call those citations. All right, so that's the cool part. And there's lots of other sites out there. There isn't just Yelp, even Facebook, YouTube, all this stuff could be considered a citation, because if you go and create a Facebook page, you can go and put the company's name, address, and phone number on that Facebook page. That'll be considered a citation too. Okay, but just like with backlinking, I gotta tell you something. All of them aren't created equal. Not all citations are created equal. Some are more powerful than others. And doesn't it make sense to go after the more powerful ones first? Absolutely. So let me share with you how to figure that out. If you go into Google and you type in this phrase, Moz citation by category, you're gonna find a list of all of the top citations to start with for the category that your client falls under. So let's just look at the top middle, carpet cleaners. It says top citation sources for carpet cleaners, right? You'll notice the first one says yellowpages.com. So that's where you'd probably want to start, followed by ServiceMagic, which is number 2, followed by superpages.com. Okay, so those are like the top 3 that you'd want to go after if you were looking for the top citation sources for carpet cleaners. Okay, so that's one ninja strategy that you can use to actually figure that out. Now I'm going to show you a second strategy. That is to go into Google and search for Moz citation by city. Okay, so Moz citation by city. Now let's just say, for example, that you were working with a customer who was near Phoenix, Arizona. You can see that's on the top middle box again. You can see that for people who are based anywhere near Phoenix, Arizona, the number one citation for that city is Yelp, followed by AZ Central, followed by Yellow Pages, followed by Yahoo Local, followed by City Search, so on and so forth. So we could prioritize where we should start, where we should go after based on that information. Pretty killer, right? This makes it very, very easy to figure out which ones have the most authority and start with that one. Okay, so that's what I recommend that you do. Now, I want to show you some case studies actually in a minute here of exactly how this works, but there's one caveat to this that you have to make sure you follow that I have to share with you first to make sure that you don't make this mistake. And that is you have to make sure it matches exactly what Google has. So let's look at the title of this listing, the company name. It says Viking Plumbing Inc., INC. Now, we both know that INC stands for Incorporated, right? But if we were to go and create a Yelp listing for Viking Plumbing, and instead of abbreviating our Yelp listing with INC, just like Google has it, and we instead put Incorporated, Google wouldn't know exactly what we were talking about, and it would be considered an inconsistent citation. So what I'm saying is that if Google has you listed as Viking Plumbing INC, period, then when you create your Yelp listing, you too should create the Yelp listing as Viking Plumbing INC rather than spelling out the entire Incorporated. Okay, so that's important. Make sure that your citations match exactly what Google has because that's going to make sure that they're the most powerful that they can be. All right, let's get into some case studies so that you can see the results that I've actually been able to get for my clients by implementing this strategy. So the first case study is going to be a heating contractor that I work with. Now I've blurred out the city name for the sake of privacy. I don't want everyone watching these videos going and contacting my clients and bothering them or trying to solicit to them or anything like that. So I did block them out for privacy's sakes. But what I've done is I've left in the keyword so you can see what the keyword is. It's basically city name, HVAC contractor. You can see this gets about 76,400 results. That is a lot of search volume. My client is right there, ranked number 1 in the map pack. And check out below the map pack, they're also ranked there as well, number 1, because when you do this strategies, a lot of times what you do is not only going to affect their Google Maps listing, which is great because that's what we're aiming to do. That's going to get us to the best conversions. That's going to get us to the best call volume. That's going to get them the most customers. But it's also going to affect your regular search engine optimization as well, which is why the client is listed there too. All right, let's go into another case study. This is a roofer that I work with, and you can see they are, again, I blurred it out, but they're ranked for city name, roofer, and this search here, if you look right under the keyword and right above the map listing, it says it gets about 138,000 results. That is a lot of results, guys. My client here is ranked number 1 for that keyword. Awesome, right? And I'll give you one more. This is a towing company that I set up. I'm including this one because it's kind of unique, so I wanted you to see this one. You can see they get about 272,000 results. My client is ranked number 1, but you'll notice something here. And the thing that you'll notice is that my competitors, they have a website attached, right? You see that? The second person listed in the map pack, it says they have a website. Mine does not have even a website listed. So it's kind of funny, we actually got this one ranked before we could even finish setting it up completely, before it even had any reviews or anything, and we got them ranking number 1 with this strategy. So it's pretty killer, but the real results for me aren't in the rankings or getting them in the map pack. It's in my client's results and what doing this actually does for their business, right? So if you look at this screenshot from the call tracking, you can see here that towing listing got 1,619 calls. So that is a lot of calls, right? And I wanted to show that to you. And I want you to ask yourself a question, okay? If you could rank a business on page 1 of Google Maps and generate that kind of call volume, how much do you think you would charge them to do that? Okay, how much would you charge them to do that? So you can see here, again, why I have no problem charging these kinds of fees, because when you're getting them awesome results, clients have no problem paying it and continuing to pay you that every single month. So in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you one of the ways to land clients, just like I've broken down in the video. Now that you know how to do this, we're going to break down in the next video, how to actually get the clients so that you can go out there and start prospecting. So if that sounds good, make sure that you stay tuned, keep an eye on your email inbox, make sure that you're marking my emails as important or dragging them into your primary folder if you use Gmail to make sure that you're getting them. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. So we'll see you next time. I'm Paul James. We'll see you there.